Welcome to the Explainer. We're going to give you a leader's guide to turning all that amazing promise of generative AI into real, measurable business results. So let's just dive right in. Okay, so here's the plan. First, we'll talk about the massive potential, what's driving this whole revolution. Then, we'll get into some real-world case studies. After that, we're going to break down the true costs and, more importantly, how you measure the return. We'll also take a little peek into the near future of AI, and then we'll wrap up by tackling the really big, critical questions about accountability that every single leader has to face. All right, let's start with a number that, well, it really commands attention. We're talking about generative AI being on track to unlock up to $390 billion in annual value. And get this, that's just for the retail industry alone. This isn't some small, incremental change. We're talking about a fundamental economic transformation. But, and this is a big but, here's the paradox that's really at the heart of what we're talking about today. The adoption, it's going to be massive, and it's going to be fast. But Gartner's telling us that a staggering 4 out of 5 of those companies will be, for all intents and purposes, flying blind. They won't be able to actually measure the real business impact of these huge multi-million-dollar investments. Kind of crazy, right? So that brings up the question. Why is this an immediate top-tier priority for every single business leader right now? Let's take a look at the data. I mean, the momentum here is just undeniable. You've got McKinsey surveys showing that 90% of retail execs are already experimenting with AI. And get this, 2/3 of them are planning to pump more money into their AI budgets this year. You can hear it buzzing in all the earnings calls. This isn't some far-off trend. It's a tidal wave of investment that is happening right now. Okay, so let's move away from these big, abstract numbers and get into some concrete examples. How are the big players, the leading companies, actually turning all this potential into real, measurable value? All right, let's talk about Coca-Cola. Their big challenge was speed and cost, in their whole creative pipeline. So what did? They started using tools like DALL-E. And it wasn't just about speeding things up. They fundamentally changed their entire creative process. And the result? A 40% drop in costs for initial concepts and getting huge campaigns out the door a whole month faster. That is a massive competitive edge. Or how about this one? Just think about the sheer scale of the productivity gains over at GitHub. They gave their developers an AI copilot to handle all that repetitive coding, and boom, a staggering 55% boost in productivity. You know what that translates to? $1.2 million in savings every single year for every 100 developers they have. That's just wild. And then you have Klarna in customer support. They were facing rising costs, so they deployed an AI assistant. Now, that assistant handles 2/3 of all their customer chats. Do you know what that means? That's the same workload as 700 full-time human agents. And they did it all while keeping their customer satisfaction scores right where they wanted them. So you see, this isn't just about cutting costs. It's about delivering scalable, high-quality service. Okay, so these examples are super compelling, right? But they all lead to the one crucial question that every single leader is asking. How do we actually calculate the investment and then measure the return? And believe me, it's a bit more complex than you might think. You see, the sticker price of an AI model, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The true cost includes all the infrastructure, the data prep, finding specialized talent, and then the continuous maintenance. You have to constantly monitor for things like model drift, which is when an AI's accuracy actually starts to go down over time, just to make sure it stays effective and, compliant. So, if you want to measure the true ROI, you've got to look way beyond just simple cost savings. A really solid framework needs to capture value across 5 key areas. Financial, of course, but also operational, customer experience, risk reduction, and, this is a big one, the long-term strategic value of innovation. All right, so we've grounded ourselves in the practical stuff, the costs, the metrics. Now let's look ahead a bit. How is AI going to fundamentally reshape the way we all do business by, say, 2026? Okay, prediction number 1, get ready for a seismic shift in user experience. The main way your customers and even your employees are going to interact with your digital products, it's not going to be by clicking buttons on a screen anymore. Nope, it's going to be through a conversation with an AI agent. And you know what? This changes absolutely everything about product design. We have to stop thinking in terms of features and start designing for outcomes. Your users will be able to handle complex tasks just by saying a simple sentence. The interface itself is going to be co-created with them in real time, constantly adapting to whatever they need. All right, the second big prediction is, I think, just as profound. Your next major marketing target, it's not a person. It's an algorithm. See, we're shifting from a search economy, all about keywords, to an answer economy. When people start asking an AI for a recommendation, you have to make damn sure your brand is the one that the model finds and, more importantly, trusts. This means a whole new strategy, one focused on feeding these models accurate data and then measuring your share of the model, which is basically how often the AI picks you over the competition. So, we have talked about the incredible promise, we've gone through the strategic playbook. But if you want to scale AI successfully and responsibly, we have to face its most critical challenge head-on: accountability. At the absolute core of this challenge is something called the black box problem. You see, modern AI models are so incredibly complex that a lot of the time, even the engineers who built them can't fully explain the logic behind why it made a specific decision. And that's the thing, right? If you can't explain it, how can you possibly guarantee that it's fair, that it's unbiased, and that it's safe? And that's where this black box becomes a very real business risk. An AI learns from the data you give it, period. So if your historical data has hidden biases, let's say from past hiring decisions or loan applications, the model will learn those biases as the correct way to do things, and then it will apply them perfectly at a massive scale. That can create some pretty significant legal and reputational headaches. So when something inevitably goes wrong, who's on the hook? It's not as simple as just blaming the algorithm. Accountability is spread across the entire chain of command. It goes from the executives who set the business goal, to the strategists who picked the data, all the way down to the engineers who actually built the model. It's a really complex new challenge. And the scary part is, the laws and legal frameworks for this stuff are still being written as we speak. So, what's the big takeaway for leaders today? It's this. The most valuable and, frankly, the safest approach is to think of AI as a co-pilot. It's a tool to augment what humans can do, to expand our capabilities. It's not a replacement that takes essential human judgment and oversight out of the loop. That's where the real, sustainable value is. And that really leaves us with the ultimate question, one that every leader needs to take back to their organization. We know we can engineer these systems to maximize profit and efficiency. We're good at that. But who in your organization is responsible for making sure they're also optimized for fairness, for equity, and for the well-being of your customers and really all of society?